Hello, everybody. It is the 2nd of June, 2013, and this is, oh my god, only 4xP, a name that Matt came up with about 2 hours ago.
A name
Today we're going to
based
go
on
over.
something that Ben said.
So, everyone played
Cried.
a part, really. The game that
I
I was in,
cried it.
so me, Ben, and Matt are involved. Ali didn't do anything, so. Today we're going to go over what everyone has been playing, and then we'll talk about should video games be nerfed, following a video that Ali did on Diablo 3 the other day. We'll go top to bottom like we did last week. So at the top we have Ali. Ali, what have you been playing this week?
Hello. I have been playing I haven't really been committing to a game, just been sort of playing a bit of everything. I played Diablo 3 and obviously made that video. Basically, I think it was about 2 months ago maybe. Me and Ryan played some Diablo co-op. We were, I think, end of Act 2, maybe halfway through Act 2. I think Ryan actually just joined me whilst I was doing it, and basically I just started playing again on Inferno after I heard that there'd been a patch to maybe nerf it, and before the patch I was struggling so much, but we'll get into that later on. So I played a lot of Diablo 3 basically, and I fucking love it. I love playing the Witch Doctor, a really fun class, and I just love the game. I mean, when I played it for the first time, I think most of us did the same thing. We sort of went normal difficulty, then nightmare, and then hell, like pretty much straight away. And then repeating the campaign like that 3 times in a row it just wears on you. It's just like, really. And then we all sort of started grinding for Inferno, and it just made it boring. And we're all like, you know what, this you start to hate the game because you're just seeing the same thing over and over again. But the gameplay is awesome, but it is just, when all you're doing it for is to get gold, it's a bit boring. So it was really nice to revisit it and enjoy it again, because I wasn't struggling as much. And then what else did I play? I played a bit of Battlefield 3 multiplayer the other day. Haven't played Battlefield 3 in ages. Ages being a month or two. I did a bit of Recon, Team Deathmatch. I love that class so much. It's so much fun. It takes me back to the days when I would play Modern Warfare 2. This would bring back memories for Matt. And did the old... I didn't really quick scope. I sort of hard scoped quickly with the intervention. I fucking love that sniper. But yeah, doing that sort of thing with Battlefield 3. Good fun. I think that's pretty much it. And I've also been practicing saying the word a lot.
Cool.
Um,
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 uh, but yeah, that's what I've been playing.
Yeah, I was going to ask why you stopped playing Diablo, but you kind of answered it, saying it got boring after doing the campaign so many times and then just
Yep.
grinding.
I mean, I did go back, and when I was playing it back then and got stuck on Inferno, I think a lot of us did this as well. We made alternative characters to level up and see what they were like. So I made a monk, which I really enjoyed. But it's sort of, yet again, you're playing the same campaign. Yeah, it's a new character and you've got new skills, but it's still the same fucking mobs over and over again, you know?
Yeah,
So
it's kind of
still got boring quick.
like I understand the progression method they went for in that game, because you're constantly leveling up, and then you got to be level 60 to start Inferno, I think. So, normal to hell or nightmare. Which one's the harder one?
Um, the harder one is hell.
Yeah. So normal to hell, you're like it's the leveling up progression part, and then Inferno is like, okay, you're here, you've reached end game, and the end
Yep.
game is do it all again. And it's kind of like
Exactly.
if you any other game, um, I mean, some people might do it, but I don't think many people would like take a single player game and go, okay, I'll play on easy. All right, I've done that. I'll play on normal. All right, now I'll play on hard. Can now play on veteran.
Yeah, you
I
usually
mean,
just go normal then veteran.
yeah, like you might, you can either jump straight to hardest difficulty because you're confident in your gameplay of that type of game, or like you'll play it once in normal to actually just experience the game, and then you might think, actually, I'm quite good at this now. I think it'd be quite fun to do on the hardest difficulty. You wouldn't really like progressively go for each difficulty, but Diablo put that system
And
in there
another
where you got to
thing,
level up.
a lot of the people who play Diablo 3 are going to have played WoW. And with WoW, you know, as you level up and get better and get new gear, you get new bosses, new boss fights, new things to learn about, new places to go. Whereas with this, it's just the same instance over and over again. Yeah, you get different sort of dungeons, and they change it up a little bit, and you get random spawning sort of events and stuff, which are cool, but it's still not spicy enough. It really isn't.
Yeah, it's really the same thing over and over again.
If you've been playing WoW and stuff.
I know Matt reached Inferno. I don't know about you, Ben. Did you?
Yeah, I'm
you play
on
that
Act 3.
Alright, cool. You got anything you want to say about Diablo 3? Like it? Hate it?
Oh, it was good
That
at
game
first,
got boring
but then, yeah, it got boring really, really quickly.
I feel like it
And
was really fun leveling up though. Like I did in like that part of the game before you get to that wall of grinding. I felt like it was fun up to there.
yeah, it's like you shouldn't really have to find ways that you can grind money to get gear to then be able to do something else. And especially that it takes, because it's all pot of luck, innit, what you get. So
Yep.
people will get the amazing stuff and then sell it for, just ridiculous prices. Like, I'm pretty sure as soon as the auction house came available, you had someone selling stuff for like $1 million, and it's like, but why?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
it's very easy. Like you could have been like farming for like say a week, and you didn't get any good drops. So, or the only money you made is from like vendor trash and picking up gold off the ground. And then someone might come in and like they'll come on for an hour and get a legendary drop and sell that off for like millions of gold. That's the kind
and
of
then probably won't go back
thing
on.
that can happen. Matt, any comments?
But I think it's all been said. Like, my opinion is pretty much the same as Ben's. It's just and Ali. I mean, it was a good game to play first time round for like the 4 difficulties. But obviously, as soon as you get to Inferno, it's more of a case of who's got more time / more money.
Yeah.
As opposed to any form of skill.
Yeah.
And
Totally.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of that. So
I've just another point.
Yeah.
The co-op and multiplayer. It didn't like. I have to compare it to WoW. I just have to, because with WoW, if you get in a party and you go kill some mobs, you really feel like you can work with each other's classes, and each class brings something completely different, and you use certain things to help the other guy, buffs, etc., whatever, CC. But then with this, I felt like whenever I was in a co-op mode on Diablo 3, it was literally just walking through the instance, just doing as much damage as possible, and there's no coordination. You don't need to. It's just fucking walk through and kill shit.
Yeah. Well, like it's like you each doing your own thing, aren't you? Like you're doing it at the same time, but like you still go through your own like whatever you would normally do, and the other person does
Yeah,
their thing.
co-op
And
doesn't
you
even
might
come
get in
into
each
it.
other's way. The most you'll get is that you get in each other's way. Like, oh, you weren't meant to kill that mob yet. But like, I guess the comparison with WoW is like, because in WoW you've got your 3 roles: tank, healer, DPS, and
Yeah,
no one of them alone can do a dungeon on their own, because that content is designed to need all those different roles. Whereas,
that's very true.
because what the multiplayer of Diablo is just the same thing as a single player. It's like it's just more repetition there. Like you go through all the the 4 difficulties, and then multiplayer isn't even anything different. It's just, oh, well, there's another player in your battle now. And the
Yeah,
thing is, each character, each role is designed to be able to solo anyway, and there's no added content to need a group. You're just there for the sake of it. Like whereas in
yeah,
like
you really are.
World of Warcraft, the content designed for groups, it's specifically designed so you need a group. Whereas in Diablo, the only difference you get is that mobs have more health and maybe they do more damage. I'm not sure, but you don't need each other because you can still all solo it.
Yeah,
So,
totally.
yeah.
But in general, it's a very good single player game that you can play through a couple of times and be done. It's a good game,
Yeah.
but it's just, I think people were looking for that longevity of it, but it just didn't exist in the first place.
Yeah. There's high hopes for it, and I think when you got high hopes for something, it's kind of hard to live up to.
Yeah.
But I mean, I guess my last point is just I really like the you get your abilities, and then as you level up, it's not like you get that ability and it's done. You unlock runes as you're leveling up to make that move different, and it kind of keeps the thing
Yeah.
keeps it alive. And I really liked seeing like the different variations of that move available, and you try and work out which would be best to use for what situation. And I really like that aspect of the game.
Yeah, I have to admit, each character, each class, sorry, is very detailed and has a lot of depth to them. To experience the
That's
class
true.
properly, you have to level it to max.
They've each got a lot of flavour, like that makes them really unique. But yeah, so that's Diablo. I saw that you can pre-order Battlefield 4 now. I don't know when that started, but
Yeah, I started a while ago, I think about a month ago.
and I think I saw my friend there was an option to buy it on PS4, and it said like coming soon.
Cool. I think it
So
is. They have
yes,
announced it's next gen, haven't they?
yeah, but you can buy it on the current gen as well. Like
Yeah,
that's
I
what
know
you
you
can
could do
pre-order it
that.
for
Yeah.
right now. So both gens. Do you think
Yep.
that will go cross-platform? Like people on PS3 can play with people on PS4 and Xbox,
No, I don't
like
think that
Xbox with
happened.
Xbox.
It might do, but I don't think so.
I'm just wondering
I
how
would
different
think
can the games be.
I would think they'd probably have to have different servers for each console, because it's not just
Yeah,
about the game, it's about the hardware it's running on.
yeah. But I think on that,
Although
like,
saying
I think
that,
the more involved thing for that is the networking rather than the actual hardware. Like, it's like if your game is running,
yeah,
the only other part is the interface that you interface with other people. Um, so I don't know about that. I mean, one thing that might do it is like maybe the next gen versions have extra features that you wouldn't get on the current gen. Like maybe they literally just add
yeah.
extra features that aren't available. So for that reason, they'd go, well, we can't play with each other because these guys don't have that.
Hmm.
There's always going to be that problem, though, isn't there? People are always going to think, oh, this is better, this is worse, this is better because of, and then it sort of creates a divide. Do you know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure, like, if Xbox was able to play with PS3, this console war would be a lot different. Like, it would be so much bigger. It would ruin the experience for people.
Or what? Like people are in a game and they go, "What are you playing on Xbox? What are you playing on PS3? Let the fight begin."
Yeah.
God, I can imagine that. People hate each other in those type of games anyway to begin with.
Exactly. I wouldn't really want a 10-year-old saying that he shagged my mum while he's on a PS4 or 3, saying that my console's shit and I've shagged your mum. Okay, cool. Whatever, I mean. Whatever floats your boat.
But yeah, you
Yeah.
excited for it? Naval warfare. And
I haven't looked too much into Battlefield 4.
I haven't looked into it
Anyone
really.
else?
Yeah, a little bit. Only when it was first teased, and then there was that 15 minutes of gameplay or whatever. But yeah, naval warfare is what excites me because it's just that another aspect to it. Yeah, I'm excited for it.
I didn't watch that gameplay trailer. I saw the trailer kind of would you call it a tease or a reveal of the naval combat?
That was a tease.
Yeah, so I saw the tease of the naval combat. Was that gameplay trailer for just single player campaign, or was there actually any multiplayer?
It was indeed just single player campaign. What they were showing was how they're trying to bring, you know how Battlefield 3 is so fun because you get a squad and then you go and do whatever you want and you work as a team.
Yep.
Basically, they're trying to bring that into the single player, and you can sort of, I mean, they've kept the aspect of you can go. They've made it as a battlefield. Each campaign mission is like a little battlefield, and you can, obviously destroy scenery, and you can get your men to go in certain locations, and then you flank or get in a vehicle or do whatever you want. I mean, Bad Company 2's campaign was like that, but this one more so. I think they're really going for it to give that multiplayer feel to the single player.
So they're like, well, we've got good multiplayer. What if we take some of that and put it over here in the campaign?
Yup.
And see what happens there. You excited, Matt? Battlefield 4? Any feelings?
Nah, not really.
Tell you what, like now I am, just after playing some more Battlefield 3, because I had a phase of playing loads of Battlefield 3 and then I haven't for ages, and now I played it again yesterday and I was just like, oh yes, I love this. What a game. The sound effects alone just make that game brilliant.
I imagine you still buy it though, just because there's so much in a Battlefield game to like try out.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I reckon I'd buy it, but I don't think I'd be as kind of. I really liked Battlefield 3, but I don't think I'd be the same way with Battlefield 4, because it is just going to be sort of Battlefield like 3.5, if you don't know what I mean.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like there's already so much in there. Like, sure, they're adding naval combat, but like, it's gonna be hard to make it.
For me,
that
Battlefield
much
3
better.
don't need any more. Like, yeah, it's just it's what it is. It's done. I'm not thinking, oh, please bring out another one. I'm thinking this is still great.
Yeah, there's so much there. There's so much there. Like, what can you add? Naval combat, sure. And I bet naval combat came about because they were sitting there thinking, damn it, what can we possibly add to this game? It's like, we've got ground covered and we've got air covered. We haven't got water yet. We can tick that box.
Beasts. Next, it's gonna be fucking
Battlefield
space.
5 is that. I was gonna go for underground fights.
Yeah.
That,
so you get like Sorry, Matt.
I mean, what about the Metro map?
Sorry, I meant like vehicles that can like drill into the ground and go underneath.
Oh, okay then.
I know what you mean. Like they do fighting underground. I'm talking about like actual. I don't know how to describe it.
I'm imagining Gandalf with the Balrog.
That should just be the trailer to Battlefield 5.
Mate, yeah, Battlefield 5, get players
You
Gandalf.
shall not pass.
Yeah, that's the end of Battlefield 4, and then they fall.
Okay, it's very good, very good. Ben, what have you been playing? I know what you've been playing. Talk to me about it.
It's StarCraft 2. All day, every day.
That kind of overlaps a bit with what I've been doing. Because who have you been playing with, Ben? Have you been playing alone?
No. I've been playing with you, Zach. Giggling.
Oh.
I like it. It's really fun. I mean, it pisses me off because it's like a massive armies, but then people make 10 units as quickly as they can and then just run them in. It's like, oh well, that's kind of gay. That's really boring.
Yeah, the problem is like everyone because that's a way to win, and everyone wants to win. They want to get their wins. It's very
really
competitive.
annoying.
Whereas you just want to have fun, and
yeah,
like it's quite a lot of fun getting huge armies of like the highest tech units and like just messing around with that. Whereas it's not as much fun kind of focusing on like the early stages. It's nice to be able to mess around, but like when you're like properly into the ladder, it's very competitive and you do what you have to do to win.
Like, right now, I've just been completely demolished by Terran, and I don't understand how they've destroyed me so quickly.
Yeah.
I fucking hate this game sometimes.
There's a lot of learning and practicing involved in StarCraft.
I do think sometimes it is because fucking, like, I don't know, the AI starts with more, or they've got things macroed, so they can literally just press a key, and then it's the equivalent of me selecting something, like a bit like my barracks, and then clicking on a unit.
I know what you mean. Whereas like you have to you have to move around actually, select this, select that, and then do stuff. Whereas the AI most likely just if it wants to make a marine, it just it goes. The time is 3:24. Make marine. It just makes it rather than having to go through what. And if you were to do that, you'd have to go to your barracks and actually select your marine, and not that's not too much extra time, but it adds up. Have you played any of the campaign?
Not a lot.
I really enjoy the campaign. You should play it when you got time.
I can't get into it. I really can't.
It's so good, and you learn a lot from playing it as well, because it kind of guides you through, especially in the early stages. Like it's kind of like a tutorial, especially Wings of Liberty if you play Terran. If you can beat the campaign, then you're in a good position to actually know what you're doing with Terran in the in multiplayer. You'll find that you actually know a lot more about the race. So
Fair
I would
enough.
advise you to play it.
I can't bring myself around to do it.
We do you could do just a single mission and then stop for the day. Like a mission will take depends on the mission, 10 to 30 minutes. Just do a single mission a day, and you'll get through it in a few weeks. And you might end up enjoying it. Like I know I really enjoyed it, and I played that. Well, like we were talking about playing through a game through on every difficulty. I played through normal, hard, very hard, and brutal. So yeah,
that's when you know you love the
example
game.
to what I said earlier. Because I really loved that game. I wasn't even because like with a game like that, it's like if you make the opponent harder, it doesn't really matter that the level is the same. The level isn't really the same because the enemy has more units or different types of units, and it's a lot harder. You got to do different strategies. So harder difficulty really changes the game. Whereas like in some games you might just get, well, this unit has more health now, or this unit does more damage now.
Yeah.
In StarCraft 2 it really changes it up, what difficulty you're playing at.
Yeah.
Because like, in the easiest difficulty they might send, for example, they might send like 2 Marines as an attack to your base. But on the hardest difficulty it might be 20 Marines, 10 Marauders, 5 tanks, and 4 Banshees. So there's a big difference in what you got to do to prepare for it. So
I mean, the reason that I lost was I bottlenecked myself. So he's spread out, and I'm having to walk down in like groups of 3. And by the time I've got to the bottom of my ramp, I'm dead.
Yeah, so that's something you want to avoid, like walking into their concave through a bottleneck. So like if you say he wanted to charge up your ramp, and you were set at the top of your ramp, spread around it, you would then be in the you would have the advantage.
Yeah. It's the little things you don't think about. You think, oh, okay, I'll make a massive army, and then I'll just walk it in, and then I'll win. But it's not. I made about 100 Marines, and they got slaughtered within 10 seconds. Because I didn't think it through.
Yeah, I think there's a lot of learning and practicing involved in StarCraft 2, definitely.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to think. The last time I played RTS that I really enjoyed was probably Command & Conquer Generals, which it must have been coming on 10 years ago. It's a long time ago.
RTS good, man.
Yeah, I loved it at the time. I am tempted to get into some StarCraft. It's
it'd be awesome.
up there with my need to play type thing.
I think you'd be good at StarCraft 2 with like the kind of the learning you need to do for it. I think he'd be good. I remember I used
Cool
to
beans.
play a lot of Red Alert 2. I think that
Yeah.
might have been my first
Remember?
RTS.
Yep, it was for me because I remember you and Matt either played it or I know for sure that you, me, and Matt went to the
The game night.
Yeah, that's it. You know what I'm on about. At Beacon,
Yeah,
at our secondary
game
school.
night at school.
Yeah. And then you had
No,
us,
I
and we
remember.
weren't allowed to play Counter-Strike, which all the others were playing.
No, it wasn't Counter Strike. It was I think Unreal Tournament. We all wanted to play Unreal Tournament. Like that's what we were excited about. And
Sorry.
we couldn't. So we all played Red Alert instead. Red Alert 2.
Unreal. Okay, sorry.
I think.
I must have like a memory lapse or something because I don't know what the fuck you're talking about.
It was like
You know the IT suites down at year 7 and 8, Green Lane. There
Yeah.
was a games night when we were either in year 7 or year 8. Dear God, all I did was drink water.
Probably went down the wrong pipe. I think we were in year 8, and it was like an evening thing, where we went in the computer suite and they had like games set up for us, and we played some Red Alert 2.
I really don't remember that.
Blimey.
Okay, so
That's
Ali has
worrying.
300, Matt has game night.
Yeah.
There.
Now you know how I feel, mate.
Okay, good. Matt, what have you been playing?
World of Warcraft.
Oh yeah. Oh, oh no.
Wait, what do you mean, oh dear?
Oh dear. What were you playing?
Okay.
What were you playing 7 years ago, Matt?
Let me explain myself. When I get home from work, I literally I'm tired and my brain is pretty much dead for the day. So I'm looking. I play a game that doesn't require much thought and much effort, and that's World of Warcraft for me. Like I don't have to think about it when I play it. I can just kind of do.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
hear you.
I understand that.
It's probably because I played it so much when I was younger, and it's just kind of all ingrained into my head.
Yeah.
But
It's
yeah,
like everything you do seems like common sense. It's like there's nothing hard about it. It's like, oh, go
yeah.
over here and kill these people. Yeah, sure, I know how to do that.
So I'd
Easy.
like to be able to start playing Metro, but I want to obviously record that while I'm playing it, and I don't really want to do that while I'm talking to you guys, because although it's funny to hear like random conversations about StarCraft, it's also probably not very good for the quality of the recording.
Yeah, I'm the
Probably.
same. Like, if it's just me that's playing it, then yeah, I'll just keep it to me.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'd
but
agree with that.
apart
It's
from
like
that,
when we were playing when I was playing Diablo, I was like, "Yep, mute everyone. See you later, guys. I've just decided I want to make this video."
no,
I'm out.
yeah. But I mean, WoW's still stuff to do in it. Pandaria stuff's pretty fun.
What character you play?
I'm still playing my warrior, but
Are you level 90 now?
yeah. I
You
mean,
know any dungeons?
yeah, I've done all the dungeons and all the raids, and obviously they're not as good as previous expansions, but I like the whole direction they've gone, which is cater to people who play maybe an hour a day, which
Yeah.
I fucking love because it means I can play the game and enjoy the game without having to sink like 6-7 hours a day into it.
That's
Yeah, you
cool.
still get everything out of it without a large time investment, which you.
I mean, I don't think I would want to play the game like I played it before when we were in school. Cause
Yeah, we definitely don't have time for that.
I mean, now I like playing it more casually.
The thing is, like, I think you could put that much time into it, but you wouldn't have any time for anything else at all.
No, yeah, it's like,
And that's not fun.
I mean, I've got work, and I've got the gym, and then after that, it's just kind of like, oh, if I've got, like, on my days off, I will play something like Metro or Blood Dragon. You know, I'll sit down for the day, like I did the other day, on Tuesday, and I just sat down and I played Blood Dragon. Oh no, what am I saying? I haven't just been playing WoW. I'm literally saying it. I've been playing Blood Dragon as well. I finished Blood Dragon, I should say. Sorry, it's just that's a sort of thing. Like, my brain, by the end of the day, it's just kind of
what is
melted.
Blood Dragon? I've only seen bits of it.
It's basically a standalone DLC using the Far Cry 3 engine.
Cool.
It's kind of like, you know, all them old 90s sort of science fiction and action movies.
Yeah.
Sorry, maybe not 90s, maybe 80s and 90s.
Are we talking Terminator?
Yeah, that sort of stuff, you know, like Terminator, Commando, that sort of stuff. It's just like a big sort of parody of that. And it's...
Alright.
I would definitely say it's worth getting, because it is a fuckload of fun. I mean, a game that has already in it the ability to give people the finger multiple times, dual wielding, it's so much fun.
£12 at the moment. I might pick that up.
It is. It's only about. I wouldn't even say it's 10 hours long, but it's. I would say it's definitely. Like I said to Will, it's probably the most fun I've had with a video game since I started playing Metro Last Light, which I did about fucking 2-3 weeks ago. I don't know if it was 3 weeks ago. But yeah.
Do you need Far Cry 3 to play it, or
No?
Yeah, cool.
You can just buy it
you
on
did
its
say
own, I
standalone.
think. Yeah.
So yeah, that's good. So it's like,
I know.
does that really count as DLC then? I don't even know.
I don't know. Yeah. I mean, it's technically an well, if you buy it on Xbox, it's like an arcade game. So.
Yeah.
I
feel like
maybe.
I feel like maybe a more appropriate term might be like a spin-off or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it doesn't sound like DLC. Because it's not like you're playing the same character in the same universe. Well, it sounds like you're in the same universe. I heard it's like the same universe, but like coloured in psychedelic colours.
No, I wouldn't say it's the same universe. I'd literally say the only thing it has in common with Far Cry 3 is the fact that it uses the same engine.
And then other than that, it's just completely different.
Yeah. I mean, everything else is completely different.
I also heard it's like it got like constant humour throughout, like if like there are jokes going on throughout the game.
If you've grown up watching like Arnold Schwarzenegger movies, Stallone movies, that sort of thing, I think you'll understand the humour and you'll find it funnier.
Cool.
Because I liked it.
Sounds good.
But yeah, I would definitely say worth picking up.
I'll have to check it out. So that was WoW and Blood Dragon. And you want to play Metro Last Light.
Yep. Which I'll be doing tomorrow, I reckon.
Yeah.
Play a bit
I think
of
I'll
that.
do some recording tomorrow. Alright. Zach, what have you been playing this week? Well, Zach, I need to look at my desktop to remember.
What?
I played...
I'm pretty sure the only thing you've been playing is StarCraft 2.
I played a little bit of Bioshock Infinite at the beginning of the... when I broke up from uni. So, I broke up from uni on Wednesday. And so now I've got a lot more free time. So I'm going to be doing a lot more stuff. I don't know what I'll do with the rest of my time. I might get a head start in the next year. While I like casual head start. And then just play a lot of games and make a bit of content here and there. But yeah, I've been playing a bit of Bioshock Infinite. I reached a part where like you can like use tears to help you in battle.
Mate, that was
Like you
great.
activate the tears. And oh no, it's just the last thing I did. It was awesome. There was this particular fight where I think I just got a shock jockey and I have to reach the gondola to power it up, and I get out, and then a huge battle takes place. Like there are enemies everywhere, and there are skylines going around the entire zone. So I did the entire fight while on the skylines, and I got so dizzy, but it was so much fun because I'm just like you move so fast, and like you can move through, and like I found tears on my way past, and I just activated them. So I activated turrets and like what are those George Washington type robots?
Patriots, I think they're
Yeah,
called.
so there's like a Patriot I could activate, and it was awesome. I was just jumping, like I'd jump off the skyline to attack someone, then jump back on straight away before I could get hit. And yeah, that was great. That was really good gameplay. I like that.
Yeah, that is
Yeah,
fun.
good game. So now I actually have a chance to finish it. I think I've got 5 hours into it now. So that's a lot of time. Although Ben finished it in 5 hours, so don't know what I'm doing.
That game
And
was
I'm like a
just
third of the way
fucking.
through, Ali said.
Yeah, you're not that far through, in my opinion. But damn,
No.
that game. I'm so
I gotta
jealous
imagine
that
how
you
Ben
get to
played
play
it
it for
now.
the first time. I want to play it for the first time again.
I also got Bioshock and Bioshock 2 to play for the first time.
Oh man, damn it! Don't rub it in, Jesus.
I'm very much gonna rub it in. What else have I been playing? I've been playing StarCraft 2 like Ben. We've been playing
Yeah,
with
boy.
me, Ben, Will, and Ryan. So we've been doing 4v4 against AI in the custom matches. I guess we're up to the harder difficulty AIs now, and we're transitioning into fighting the very hard AI. And yeah, I'm just waiting while Ben, Ryan, and Will get better, I guess.
Fuck off.
Oh yeah, look at you.
I'm determined not to. Protoss is so overpowered, and I am determined not to use that.
Well, they're not overpowered, but I think they're easier to like start. They're an easier race to start with, just because their kind of mechanics are kind of easier to get used to. Because like at the top end, you see, because players that are good anyway, the race that is easier to play with at the beginning, it's like that fact is irrelevant. Like the fact that Protoss is easy to start with is irrelevant when like you're already a top player, because that's not what's concerning you. You've got the basics down already. I hope.
It's their the warp gate that is just so annoying. Because if you make like 20 of them, you can literally warp in 20 units instantly, and then wait like 30 seconds, and then you can do it again.
Yeah,
if you have
it's
the
good.
resources.
Great. That's like
Whereas
really
I have
helpful.
to wait.
I think it was
Which is
a
really
really good mechanic with that is you can have the pylon is the way Protoss get their supply. So you could put a pylon across the map anywhere. It doesn't have to be in your base. Just put the pylon anywhere,
Yeah.
and the pylon creates a power grid around it. So like a circle of power. That's where you have to build your buildings. You can't build your buildings without a power source. So without a pylon. So and these circles are also where you can warp in units. So if you build a pylon near your enemy's base, you can warp units in straight there, so you don't have to like travel across the map to attack. You just warp in straight, like right next to the enemy's base. And it's really good for like reinforcing. Like if you go into a fight, you want to reinforce your units. So when you've got a warp ready, you can warp your units in right next to right next to your army, rather than having to wait for your army to like wait for your reinforcements to actually run across the map to reinforce. Because by that time the army might be dead, and it might not be worth sending them in.
Exactly. Plus, something Will tried doing is he put a pylon in my base in like an area that I hadn't like ventured out to, because I spawned in quite a big area, and he put it so he wouldn't have to, I couldn't see it because it was dark, because I hadn't gone over there.
Yeah.
and I blocked off my ramp thinking he's gonna come from there, but no, all of a sudden like 30 zealots just like fucking ran into my base just like that. I was like, what?
That's so cheeky. What you want to do there is like if you when you've got your base, you want to build like a building like to each side kind of thing, so you've got vision of the entire area. That way you're aware of anything coming in. Yeah. Earlier, I found a custom game where like they're pretty much mods. So me and Will did a 1v1 on it. It's called Unit Test Map, and basically you get every building available to every race, and it's just there. And you can build like so you can build whatever unit you want from any race, and there's no like the spawn time is instant, so you just click the button, and it makes the unit. So like you can just like mess around on their loads because there's also no supply cap, so you can just keep making units until like your computer literally can't handle it. So you can make anything.
Nice.
And the thing, because you don't have to like tap the button to do it. You can just hold on to it, the hotkey. So like if Z is the hotkey for zealots, then I just have to hold down the Z key, and it will just make a constant stream of them. And yeah, that's funny. That's a funny game mode.
I'll have to look at that tomorrow.
Yeah. I'll show you it. Okay. Did I do anything else? I finished off Super Mario World on the emulator. I only had the Secret World and the Bowser level left to do. Secret World on Super Mario World is really difficult. Like genuinely difficult. There's this one level and it's so short because it's so difficult, and there was this one part that like I kept getting stuck on, and like I said, it's a very short level, so this one part is basically the entire level, and as soon as I got past it, I saw that was the end of the level. I was like, oh, what? It's literally about like if there was a pathway to run across, it would take 10 seconds to finish off the level.
Fucking hell.
Do you remember I don't know if you've played Super Mario World, but there's like a power up where like Mario blows up like a balloon so you can float around.
I haven't seen that. I mean, one of the reasons why I'm still tempted to get a Wii U is because of all the Nintendo titles I'd like to play.
To be fair, you
Excuse
could
me.
get an emulator and play old Nintendo
Yeah.
games with a Xbox controller if you really wanted to, and that would be free. Although it'd be nice to have a Wii U just for the sake of having a Wii U.
Yeah.
I'd get a Wii U if there are like more games on it that I wanted to play. I feel like there's enough that I want to play on there, and I have enough people
Yeah.
that I would play with on a regular basis. Because I feel like if you've got like a couple friends where you would play quite often with each other, then it would be worth having a Wii U. But
Yeah, for sure. It
that's the
always
kind of thing
helps.
where like I guess you'd have to be living with a couple people that also like the game.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge.
Yeah.
Lol.
Well, shall we move on to the final topic? Well, the topic.
Yeah, I guess we can. I think for the rest of the week, I'll be finishing off Bioshock Infinite, and I'm gonna play a bit of Legend of Grimrock and make some content out of that. I got quite last time I played Legend of Grimrock, I've got like 11 hours into it. I think I was like 3/4 or 2/3 of the way through the game, and I just stopped. And not because I got bored of the game, I just kind of stopped. Even though it
Something
was
else
really
happened.
fun. Yeah, I just went, yeah, no, just no.
I've never actually
So
played it. I'm looking at it now. It's £12. Is it good?
yeah, it's good. You can watch me play it when I make the content.
Awesome, awesome.
So yeah, I thought I may as well. I could just play play it properly, or start again and record it instead. So I'm gonna go for that.
I look forward to it.
Yeah, so our main topic, well, I call it the main topic. What we're playing is probably the main topic because that took, like, I don't know how long.
An
How long
hour.
did it take? When did we
Yeah.
start?
It took about 45 minutes, 50 minutes.
Alright, that's better than last week, although we have to less people. So, today's topic, if you want to call it that, is should video games be nerfed? And this is brought on by Ali's video he did on Diablo 3, discussing
Yeah.
the nerf of patch something or other that Ali will talk
I
about.
think it was patch 1.03. And I think now they're on patch something like 1.07. I know there's been a few since. I'm quite late to the news, as it were, for that patch, but I just felt like making a video for you guys, really, just to say that I didn't realise how badly it'd been nerfed by this patch. And I quickly went on the forums to see what everyone was saying about it, and all the hardcore sort of gamers who were enjoying the difficulty of getting gear and to get anywhere really on Inferno, they were just raging so hard to say that, now an idiot can just facepalm their way through it. I wouldn't say it's that easy, but it is a hell of a lot easier. Like, it's at least twice as easy. Seeing as when I played it before the patch, I was struggling and dying a lot, like in the first half of Act 2. Which, by the way, it was Act 2 to Act 4 that they nerfed. They didn't nerf Act 1.
Yeah, Act 1 to begin with was like,
yeah,
pretty easy.
fine.
And then the jump is so huge to Act 2.
Yeah, it really was. It was just nuts. And then they just over-nerfed it. They just completely and utterly just decimated it, to the stage where me and Ryan just blazed through Act 2, blazed through pretty much the first half of Act 3, and I was sitting there thinking, well, it must be a mix of the nerf, and maybe Ryan he's got so much good gear, he's probably just helping me out. And then when I played by myself, it's like, really? Is it really this easy? The only thing that bothers me are the champion packs, that's it. They're the only things that can sometimes bring a challenge, and then rarely, like that one in the video, actually kill me a few times.
Yeah, well, that elite pack, I think, is it blue or elite and yellow are champions?
I think so.
Distinction. Well, we'll go with that naming.
Yeah, we know what we mean.
That elite pack that you killed seemed like trivial, and like I remember when I played, like an Act 3 blue pack was very difficult. Like it took a lot of concentration and maybe a few wipes to take them out.
Yeah, and it's not like I'd been playing for much either. I'm not a sophisticated, skilled player or anything. I wasn't really putting a lot of effort in. I was just fucking running around hitting it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I was doing it easily.
I wouldn't say your gear was fantastic either. I mean, it's definitely good, but like, it's not like the best.
For Inferno, yeah, I don't think it is. I don't think it's that great at all. I know that I haven't spent a lot on it, so it can't be that amazing.
Like, yeah, but and that pack that you killed, where you had to die quite a few times to kill it, like that would be pre-patch when I did it. That would be an impossible pack. Like I would have tried to find a way to run through it, or just restart the game so that a different type would spawn.
Yeah.
Because that wouldn't be, I wouldn't be able to fight that. It's not doable.
No.
And then the
that
boss,
was a tough pack.
like, damn.
Yeah, such a contrast. It was just a piece of piss.
That looks so easy. I mean, to be fair, that boss, when I did it, it wasn't. I did it in a couple tries, I think. It wasn't. Gon was the hard boss, but like Azmodan wasn't that bad. But it definitely was still quite a lot of effort. I mean, there's quite a bit of time where you're actually standing in the black pool and you didn't die. And I know one of the times you had a cooldown, but you're still like standing in it. And I think you got hit by the fiery meteor at the beginning. I think that one-shot me in the pre-patch.
Yeah. Well, to be fair, it did one-shot me because my spirit vessel popped, so that is I did die basically. Yeah.
Fair enough. So that still kills you.
But we're talking Act 3 Azmodan with shitty gear, and I did it in one go. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
What else was I going to say? I should have really gone, but I forgot to. I did him in one go as well. And also, after I watched the video, I actually noticed that I got an achievement with Asmodan for not letting any ads spawn. Like, I got that achievement on Inferno. It's that easy.
Like you weren't even like thinking I'll do this achievement. You're just like, oh, there's a thing I should kill.
Literally.
Dead. You pretty much one-shot those as well.
Yeah, they're pretty quick.
But I think like on the topic of like whether games should be nerfed or not, like in that case, Ali, do you have the release date of that patch on you?
I'll quickly get it. What were you
Alright.
going to say about it?
Because well, what I'm thinking is like, you know, a lot of people turned off Diablo 3 pretty quickly. There's quite a lot of people complaining online, um, that you know, with the same complaints we had about Inferno and the whole playing it over and over again. Then you get into Inferno, it's all about grinding until you can actually do it. And I guess like maybe the nerf is in response to those people. Um, you know, because so many people were complaining. It's like, oh, it's too
Yeah.
hard, and um, I'll come back to that in a second as well. But like, I feel like once the patch hit, the people that were most of the people that were left were probably already people that were pretty hardcore into the game, and they could already do Inferno, and they had the gear and they had the investment in already. So the people that were left in the game didn't need the nerf, but they got given it because
Yeah,
of the
I
fact
think
like
it happens with all games where a game is too difficult and they ask for a nerf, then the hardcore guys who are left get pissed off, but all the casual guys are happier. But with this, it was way more extreme. Like, it was so hard, so you had to be so hardcore to be doing it and enjoying it, and then it got completely swapped. So it was a very obvious thing. They overdid it.
yeah, but I feel like there weren't. I don't know if they're how the casual quotation marks casual complaints were during that time. But like in my head, I don't think like if you are quote unquote casual, then you just stop playing rather than um, trying to grind down Inferno. But I guess that's
Yeah.
just in our friend group. That is what happened. Um,
Geez, so I'm think if this is the correct patch, it does say these acts are getting nerfed. It's basically 1 year ago, June 6th, 2012.
yeah. Well, I think they're at 1.08 right now, so
Yeah,
it would have been a while ago. But
blimey.
I think I beat the game like just prior to the patch because I think I remember like when I was playing beating Inferno, I was reading about 1.03. So I think that
Yeah, that's
lines up.
probably makes sense then. Blimey, late news, eh? Late news, but still fun to talk about.
It's current within this group.
Yeah.
Um, damn, I said I was gonna come back to something and I forgot what it was.
I don't know, nerfing in
I should have just
general.
talked about it when I said it. I was talking about the hard difficulty. I don't think it matters.
I think
No, it
in
doesn't matter.
general games should just have the ability to please all, but with Diablo 3 it was just so sort of strict, as it
I
were.
I just don't see what stops them, say, from. This one thing I never kind of understood about Diablo is what stops them from, say, just adding another difficulty to the game, wherein it's like it's pre-patch Inferno difficulty. I mean, obviously you want to nerf a game. If a lot of people are complaining about it, then it's probably a good idea to kind of go, okay, maybe we should make it a wee bit easier so that people aren't so antsy about it. But why should they? I mean, surely every game should have like a super hard mode for the people that want to do that. I mean, Bioshock Infinite has that 1999 mode,
Yeah.
and then
Yeah.
the original Bioshock had the sort of, no Vita Chambers sort of thing.
Yeah.
Like, every game should be accessible to everyone, but at the same time, in saying that, you need to include that hardcore demographic that want to play the game on its hardest setting.
I think maybe it's just us players. Like, surely, because what you could do in the sense of what you were saying is, okay, so there's Inferno 1 and then there's Inferno 2, but it's the same thing as having Hell and then Inferno. It just keeps going. It's just like, right,
Yeah.
well, maybe you just leave the hardcore gamers to it, and then everyone who's complaining, well, you can't do Inferno. Tough luck.
Well, no.
And just
one thing they did
they could have done it
World of Warcraft,
just more balanced, because let's face it, Act 1 to Act 2 was ridiculous.
Yeah. I mean, one thing they did on World of Warcraft, which I thought was good, is that at the max level, I mean, you can obviously get higher and higher level gear, and basically, there's obviously you got like the dungeons you go to, and you got the heroic versions of those dungeons, which are obviously the harder versions, and then on top of that, you got like the challenge mode dungeons, which is basically what I've said, which is they've nerfed pretty much most of World of Warcraft so that any spastic with flipper hands can play it. But the challenge mode is basically what it does is it scales all of your gear down to like the heroic level and scales all the mobs up, and then gives you challenges to do on top of that. So like before you can progress past a certain area in the dungeon, you have to kill, say, 40 mobs or whatever. Or you have to kill the boss in a certain way.
Okay.
Or the boss gets new abilities. So that
That's
goes back to
cool
what
it's timed as well, isn't it?
I mean, well, you don't have to do it in a certain amount of time, but obviously the quicker you do it, the more rewards you get.
Yeah. Well, I thought, do you get medals for like bronze, silver, gold for times?
Yeah, you get bronze, silver, and gold medals.
Yeah, I thought the point of that challenge mode was to like just like here's a dungeon, see how fast you can do it.
Yeah, but I think that's where games need to go. They need to be. Obviously, it takes more time, which is bad for the developers because obviously they want to get their game out as quickly as possible. Unless, of course, they're like Valve, where they kind of go, "Oh, it's done when it's done." But they need to start accommodating for everyone. So nerfs aren't a bad thing. Nerfs can be a good thing. All they've got to do is make sure that they keep some of that original game that the hardcore players liked in some way, shape, or form. But with Diablo 3, it sounds like they haven't done that.
Yeah, because by the sounds of things, I'm gonna find Act 4 relatively easy as well. From what
If you can do
Ryan's
Act
saying.
3, you can do Act 4.
Yeah.
Even pre-patch, there's not that much
I
difference.
don't know how hard it was for them to do the nerf, but to go from it being so extreme from Act 1 to Act 2, Act 3, Act 4, to then completely flatten all of them and just make it all a walkover. It's just like, well, that's just overboard. Why couldn't you have done it so it's Act 3, then progressively a little bit harder, sorry, Act 2, then progressively just, balance it for fuck's sake. Maybe have Act 4 as that crazy hard last.
I think that's another thing with Diablo is that they're kind of also having to stick to a narrative. I mean, the reason why I thought Act 3 was harder than Act 4 when I originally played it on something like Hell mode was because Act 3 was so much longer than Act 4, so the mobs just kept getting stronger and stronger, whilst in Act 4, obviously because the game is a 4-act game, you've got your beginning, Act 1, you've got your middle, Act 2 and 3, and then you've got your end, Act 4. The biggest acts are obviously going to be 2 and 3, so surely they're going to be obviously bigger, which means that the mobs will get harder as you go along in them, if you know what I mean. Do you understand what I'm saying?
I hear where you're coming from.
Yeah. But I mean,
I just can't believe Blizzard, of all people, fucked it up so bad.
The thing is, like, with a lot of games that have like the multiple difficulty settings available, if like they cater to everyone, so you've got your people that want to play in normal or easy, and then you've got people that like want a bit more challenge, and you've got the people that want the very hardest content they can get from the developer. So everyone's and no one, in most cases, like they're not complaining. Like if you're the type of person that plays normal or hard, you're not gonna go onto the insane mode and complain that it's too hard, because like you as a gamer are aiming at playing normal or hard.
Yeah.
Whereas in like the Diablo 3 case, it's not a matter of like obviously there's the 4 different difficulties, but you're not just choosing a difficulty. You're progressing because you're leveling up the entire time. You're still unlocking stuff.
Yeah.
So you're not going onto a game and choosing what difficulty you're gonna play. You're actually like you gotta when you complete normal, you feel like you're progressing into nightmare, and then when you finish nightmare, you're progressing into hell. Yeah, it's not like you suddenly finish campaign and go, actually, now I'm gonna play on nightmare. So
You
you're
still
leveling up
got skills to
constantly,
unlock.
and you have to be level 60 to enter Inferno. And I think when I finished Hell mode, I was like level 58 or level 59, so I wasn't 60 yet. So you do normal, you do nightmare, you do hell, you get to level 60, and then it's not a case of like people going, okay, I want to now put it on veteran difficulty and try out the hardest content available. It's more of a case of like, well, it's now the natural progression is for me to be able to do Inferno now that I've unlocked everything, and also like it's like, oh, okay, I've reached level 60. I wanna actually play through the game where I've got everything available to me now, whereas before I didn't.
Yeah.
Um,
Unfortunately, you're playing through literally the exact same thing again, so you're like, oh, this is a bit boring now for the fourth
That's
time.
one thing I don't understand with Diablo is that you say that, or they say that it's, randomly generated dungeons, but what I felt when I played through it is that all the dungeons were the fucking same. Like, that they weren't random, and it was just like, oh, it's this fucking
It just
set up
changes
again.
route, really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's just
There's nothing really crazy different.
yeah,
But for
it's
me, the one thing that I love about it that I will go back to play it for is it is the elite packs and champion packs. Without them, that game would be fucking shit. It would just be boring because without them, there's no challenge for me.
I think they're the main part of the game because the some of the packs are harder than bosses, as you proved in your video.
Yeah, that was perfect. I'm so happy that happened. I did not plan any of that. But all of this aside, brilliant game to play through once and then go back and fully enjoy again with a different class. Like beautifully, it looks stunning, doesn't it?
You know, I need to play it again because when I played it before on my old computer, I couldn't set it on the high settings, and now I can, and I know that game is really good on the high settings.
That is the reason why I bought it on this PC straight away, because I was playing it on a,
Yeah.
Yeah, potato.
Yeah, it looks amazing in your recording, so I can only imagine what it actually looks like if I'm playing it. So I'll probably play it a little bit.
Sweet.
I remembered what I was going to go back to, and
sweet.
I don't think. So obviously, Inferno was very hard, but I don't think like people were complaining that it was. They're complaining for a specific reason. They weren't complaining because like they thought like, oh, this requires too much skill to be able to beat this difficulty, and I'm not willing to get that skill or practice. It's more like people felt like it just took too much to be able to get the gear that they needed. Like the means of beating
The grind.
The means of beating that difficulty weren't available to them.
Actually, I've just realised something. Part of the difficulty and quite a big reason that the grind was so big was the amount of money people were charging. If these awesome weapons were cheaper, everyone would have been doing alright. If you only needed like 10k to get an awesome weapon to get you up to that next ability to be able to get through the next boss, it would be fine. But because people were putting the prices so high, it did become a never-ending grind. So it was kind of user-created as well.
Yeah, that's true. But
I wouldn't say it was kind of user created. I would say
fully.
it was down solely to the shitty community that comes with a game that has an auction house.
Yeah, yeah.
Like, if
But
they'd gone the route of Torchlight 2, where there is no auction house, the loot you pick up is the loot you use, and that sort of shit, I reckon it would have been better. But obviously, they didn't go that route, because Blizzard is
but
money hungry.
I mean, obviously you've got the you do have players controlling the auction house and what price everything is set at. So you might get like the people that are playing constantly get more drops more often, and to them, a certain amount of gold might not mean anything because that's just what they get from their vendor trash. So they charge at high prices, kind of thing. And that's how it all starts. But like the reason they can do that is because of the way the RNG that Blizzard implemented. Like, um, if if the items that people needed dropped more often, then people wouldn't be able to sell at that price because no one would actually need it that much, kind of thing. Whereas like you kind of find like to find the exact item with the exact stats that you need on them, the chance of getting it is so low. Whereas if it's on the auction house, the chance 100% you just gotta have the gold to get it. And if you go grinding, the chance of getting gold is 100%. So it kind of
I think
it's a two-way there.
Yeah, it's also an inherent
the
problem
way the game
with
is designed.
Yeah.
The way the game is designed leads to the way the auction house develops. Carry on, Matt.
Yeah, I think it's sort of like the way those games are made. Like games that have random loot generation are always going to be like that. Again, I'm going to compare it to WoW, but the bosses in WoW, from the raids and the dungeons and everything, they have set loot tables. So there's a set thing that drops. Well, there's a set of things that drops, which is obviously
So within reason, you know what you're gonna get.
Yeah, it's just a case of there's a 20% chance it'll drop because it'll also drop these 4 other things, and it's just like okay, I don't mind grinding that. That's fine. But that's the thing. Yeah, like I was saying, that's another problem with random loot generation is you don't always get what you want, and someone else will, and they'll extort you for all your money. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's all I was going to say.
There we go. We figured it out, guys.
Yeah. Although I think we veered off of nerfing by quite a lot.
Yep.
Oh, no, I still think like
we worked out Diablo.
Yeah.
Although we did get that because of the nerfing.
Yeah.
So it makes sense. But like
I think nerfing's not a bad thing. I think it's a good thing.
So because we love going back to WoW so often, what happens quite a lot in raiding is the raid will be out for a while, or unless the raid has literally just come out and they see they need to nerf it. So they might do a 5% reduction across everything like health, damage. So they'll apply a nerf to the raid, and sometimes what you get is a certain guild will be on a certain boss fight, and you know they're wiping on it, and they're trying to progress on it, and they're getting good tries on it, like 10%, 5%, that kind of thing, and then the nerf will come in. You got to keep in mind, like with a few more tries, they might actually kill it on this difficulty, but then the nerf comes in, and they walk over it, and it's kind of like, well, that challenge just got taken from us. And if you're raiding,
they've been robbed.
If you're raiding as a proper guild, then you're there for the challenge, and it just kind of gets taken away from you. And
yeah.
What sometimes happens in the race, so like when you're the first few guilds to actually kill a boss, if they apply a patch really soon after a raid has come out, because they've seen that's overtuned, you might have a couple guilds that kill it pre-patch, and they are considered like the kings and gods, and then it gets a patch. Some actually this applies to not just to the top either actually, because you'll get like people they're people divided. Like you have an achievement that says you killed this, you completed this raid, and then you can go, well, did you do it pre-patch or post-patch? Because that matters. So like even though you might have been able to do it pre-patch, but now you're kind of forced to say, well, I did it post-patch because of the timing. So that kind of thing can happen as well when you're doing nerfing or buffing.
Yeah, for sure.
I think in general, there's usually a difficulty catered to certain groups, and if a certain difficulty is too hard for you, then it's not for you to like say it's too hard for you, because there are other people that can do it. So it's for them to play, and you go to the difficulty below. But in the case of Diablo, it's a bit different because, like I said, if your end game, it's more of end game rather than playing on the hardest difficulty.
Yeah. Just trying to think of anything else I know that's been nerfed.
Yeah. But I mean, you wouldn't expect like them to apply a nerf to the hardest difficulty of like BioShock or Call of Duty. Like it'd be weird. Like why would you do that?
That's what I don't understand about Diablo is that, I mean, it is a single player game for the most part. I mean, obviously you've got co-op and the auction house, but they don't, like you were just saying, they don't nerf other single player games. They don't make BioShock easier because people are complaining about it on the hardest difficulty. They don't make Call of Duty Veteran Mode less difficult. I mean, Call of Duty World at War Veteran is still as hard today as it was when it was released. I just don't see why is like Diablo a special case in that.
I think it's because it's got a WoW community playing it.
Yeah, I think do you reckon it is just down to it being a product of Blizzard?
I think it literally is. It's just the community that comes with it. We're all expecting it to be WoW almost because of the level process, and it's just almost instinctive, I suppose. And then we're like, oh yeah, this is actually a single player game. I need to wake up to the fact that it does end.
Yeah.
It's like when in WoW, you're like, when something's really hard, it gets nerfed. Like that's what the patches are for. Or you get buffed.
Even if it's not until the end of the expansion.
And then you go play Diablo and you're like, oh, it's hard. Well, I wonder when they're applying the patch to nerf it.
It is an interesting
one.
I
can understand them maybe if they were going to make more content for Diablo. Like, if they were to nerf acts 2 through 4, if they were planning on adding another 4 acts, I'd be like, yeah, sure, whatever. That's fine. That don't bother me one bit. But they don't seem to be making any newer content to justify making the current content easier, apart from obviously, more people can finish it. But what difference is there in finishing?
They could have just... Yeah, but like they wouldn't even have to think of that if they just, patched it properly. You know what I mean? Just make it so Act 2, 3 and 4 aren't impossible, and just make it so Act 4's impossible, you know what I mean? I don't know.
Yeah, the problem is the jump is so large, whereas like if they made it like a steady increase, like Act 1 is like 1%, and then Act 2 is 25. Okay, I'm doing the wrong numbers, my bad. I'm not going to use numbers. If they did a steady increase, then like you would just develop, like if you're not as good at your character as you could be, through the development you would eventually just get better through the practice of slightly harder content. Like you jump from Act 1 to 2 and you're like, oh, it's a bit harder, what can I do to not die? And you'll learn something, and then you do the same if you jump up more acts. And I
I'm
feel
still
like maybe
thinking
if they combine that with maybe some kind of different looting mechanic where like rather than RNG, like you actually have a good chance of, once you finish Act 2, having the gear you need to start Act 3. That way you're developing your skill and you're getting the gear that you'll need to actually start the next act. And then you'll actually, even though Act 4 would still be the same difficulty as it was pre-patch, um, you'll have everything you need to be able to do it, even though it's still like hard.
Yep, that would be it.
How long have you been running for?
About an hour and a half.
Okay.
Damn.
Just under.
Carry on, Zach.
I was just gonna say, what was I gonna say? I feel like what they have in Diablo, with the whole RNG thing and a lot of grinding involved, I just don't think it's kind of it doesn't cater to the current generation of gamers, I think, or the main bulk of gamers. Whereas like
Yeah.
in the early 90s or whatever, or late I don't know what time frame, early 90s. Should I say that, Matt?
What are you referring to?
Stuff like Diablo 2 and other kind of dungeon type games where like it's just a lot of grinding.
Feeling that might have been later in the 90s.
Yeah, just lots of grinding.
Might be going
involved.
a bit too far back.
I'm going back to text-based games.
Yeah.
But
no, yeah, you've gone.
There's a lot of like,
you went way too far back.
There's a lot of like just mindless grinding involved. Like I don't think it just
games like
suit,
Eve and
EverQuest. It doesn't suit what most gamers want nowadays. We're kind of in the iOS stages really. So that kind of gameplay, while it might have suited gamers 10 years ago, I don't think it really suits us now.
It also, I reckon if they'd released Diablo 3 when I had been in school, I would still probably be playing it. Like, I mean, I fucking played World of Warcraft for God knows how long, and I did so much grinding in that. I think Diablo 3 would have been the same. I think it doesn't help that we've obviously gotten older and we've got more shit to do, so we don't have time to do those stupid
I honestly
grinds.
I know I wouldn't. I think WoW is a complete different ballpark. Like with Diablo 3 is single player. It's you on your own. You don't have a guild to work with. You know what I mean? It's just so much more not worth the grind. It really isn't worth it.
I think like it'll be like any other single player game. You just play it, you finish it, you put it away. Whereas WoW obviously is not single player. It's very MMO. Yeah, I think I'm done. Anyone else?
Yeah, I'm done.
Say anything?
Yeah, I think sort of round it off. Just you know.
Should I put a conclusion onto the podcast?
Well, no, just like a one word thing. Is nerfing good or bad?
It is great if done properly.
There you go. I think it's a good thing. Again, I agree with Ali. If it's done properly, yeah, go for it.
It needs to be appropriate to the context of the game that it's being made for, which is a very general statement.
Totes.
Right.
Awesome. Well, that was cool, guys.
That was oh my god, only 4xP, and episode 2. Bye then.
Hooray!
Done. Bye.
I can fire that file I've been holding in.